In a classroom at the Criminal Justice Institute at the University of Arkansas, several crimes are taking place.
Just a little light throat cutting.
I want to shoot this young lady in the neck.
And the criminal masterminds are forensic expert Paulette Sutton and her accomplice Steve Nichols. By most standards, erecting massive cardboard rooms and then defacing them with blood is unusual. But somebody has to do it.
To create a mock scene, you probably have to have a very sick mind, a couple of sticks and knives, a bucket of blood, and just get in there and put them down. Sometimes we have a plan, sometimes it's a recreation of a scene that we've already worked. A lot of times it's simply a matter of how diabolical I feel today. Now we're going to have a little more beating down there.
Although Paulette jokes about her day job, her reasons for recreating these bloody scenarios are no laughing matter. They'll actually be investigated by real police officers with varying degrees of experience.
Even the experienced officers have not generally ever had someone sit down and show them why blood does what it does, how it's going to appear at a crime scene.
That's why Paulette sprays, flicks, and even smears herself in animal blood to teach police officers the art of reading blood spatters. She herself has been investigating crime scenes for the last 20 years.
It is something that tells them where the next piece of evidence probably is.
Her students are mostly officers from small rural police forces that don't have a dedicated crime scene investigator on the team. The week-long course isn't long enough for them to become experts, but it is long enough to dispel a common misconception.
They've heard more absolutes. They've heard the stuff on CSI where it's always this way or it's always that way. This world isn't made of always anything.
All right, you saying the blood, the maximum it gets 25 seconds?
25.1 feet per second is the fastest it can travel.
To understand how blood behaves, officers start by making their own spatters with medicine droppers, dripping blood from different heights and at different speeds.
You got some right here.
Yeah,
I'd be willing to call.
And this one's also got the forward momentum.
These large round stains are passive drops. They've simply fallen under the force of gravity.
An impact spatter means that we have a source of blood, either a bloody person or a bloody pool on the floor, and a second impact occurs. That impact gives energy to the pool and breaks it up into smaller spatters.
It's always going to shoot in the direction of travel.
It's shooting in the direction of the force. That's a person's head.
Right.
And I hit it with a baseball bat. If I came in this way,
It's
going to go that way. What does it tell you when they're real long and spiny?
There's more of an angle.
It's more of an angle, or you can see now why that looks like somebody down in a pool of blood being stabbed. And remember, too, now, when people stab other people, that knife wipes clean.
It's a lot to absorb in a couple of days, but Paulette says no matter what information these officers take away, it's going to help them.
One student this week has already said he bypassed stains at a scene last week because he didn't know what they meant. He wasn't overlooking them, he wasn't discounting them, he just didn't know what they meant.
Armed with the new information, it's time to work a crime scene. Paulette makes the scenes as realistic as she can, but not so tough that they'll completely stump the investigators.
They've got a good mix-up of different stains to start pulling the patterns out. A really bad assault is a bad mishmash of a lot of different things happening, and that's not where you learn. You learn starting with the not so mixed up.
This is no CSI, as seen in the popular TV show. There's no fancy blue mood lighting, only harsh fluorescence. The coveralls hide whatever fashion statements these officers might be trying to make. And let's face it, they are investigating cardboard boxes, but they're taking it very seriously.
So there's 3 different types of blood spatters that we have here. Coming to the scene a few days ago, they all look the same to me.
Paulette cautions her students that blood spatters are not a smoking gun. There are always alternative explanations for things.
You could shoot someone and not have any blood at all on you. You could beat someone and only have a limited amount. You could pick someone up and carry them to a car to get first aid and have blood on you and still not get yourself convicted erroneously.
Having said that, these students have been paying attention.
And it's just getting wailed on, because you've got your spatter and you've got the ups and downs.
They've been able to work their way through most of the crime scenes with reasonable accuracy. Of course, there were a few stumbling blocks.
We can't find anything that substantiates a throat laceration.
But as Paulette points out, that's one of the realities of crime scene investigation.
The other thing that we hopefully have been able to teach them is don't overreach. What you can't prove, you can't say.
The directional change, the body could not have placed with active arterial gushing, could not have went from here to here and pumped back in this direction.
It's not known how many times bloodstain analysis has been used to convict a person, but to Paulette, that's not what counts.
We're not in it to convict, we're not in it to exonerate. We're in it to find the scientific proof that helps a jury make the right decision.
What is clear is that she loves what she does.
Sometimes it's hot, nasty, tiring work, but there's a different puzzle. And the puzzle doesn't end when I leave the office. It doesn't end until I get it solved.